Hi everyone! We are here for the Season 4 champion match of the Dominion League, hosted by Steph at DominionStrategy.com. Hi, Steph.
I mean,
And
is my audio actually horrible? Can I do something about that? Or
do you have a
I'm actually
microphone?
I'm hearing Mick overpowering everyone else.
I don't hear any mic at all.
If you're hearing Mick, it's on his stream. Alright, this first kingdom that we see in front of us is correct, and it was submitted by Assemble Me, so congratulations. As I look
Would
at
you
the
say he assembled it?
well, I mean, Goko perhaps assembled it, and then he selected it. Anyway, it looks like Mick has a 5-2, which I have no idea if that's good or not. I mean, the big card I see here is Ambassador, right? I mean, Ambassador is always a big card. And then when you have Ambassador, you look for draw. Shantytown's pretty weak as a village because, you know, it doesn't really synergize with Terminal Draw, which you do have in Torturer. Also an attack with a village, so it's something to think about. But then there's
I
Apprentice
actually like
for
Trading
non-terminal
Post
draw.
here. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like Trading Post over the Ambassador.
on 5-2, I think I could easily convince myself to open Trading Post. And certainly pick up that moat.
Trading post over Apprentice here?
Not long term, but in the beginning.
I think on turn 1 I'd get the Trading Post. Although I'm not positive about it. I mean, Apprentice is going to be important.
Yeah.
But Ambassador War is probably going to be pretty big here because the draw is so tight.
Yeah, that's why I prefer Apprentice, because you can still play a Terminal. And mode is going to be really good.
I mean,
yes, I hadn't considered that. Yeah.
Mick Enoch, the Division A member, along with Steph, picks up the Apprentice. I mean, turn 1 Trading Post is so good, but I mean, these guys are probably
It usually is, but you need to actually like silvers. Or at least not hate them. Okay, you don't have to like silvers. But
yeah, for sure. So the question is, like, I mean, with Torturer, there's always a risk of, you know, just you play a bunch of Torturers, they get some curses in hand, and then they pass them right back to you with Ambassador. I mean, in a vacuum, of course I'd go for Ambassador over Torturer, but I mean, there's a lot else going on here, and since Torturer is the main source of draw, I mean, how do you prioritize things?
You really cannot open Torture on an Ambassador board.
Well, I mean, certainly it would be a mistake to open it, but you know, how much do you prioritize getting thin versus trying to get Torturers?
You first go thin. Yeah, pretty sure.
So on a 3... Go ahead.
I'm still trying to find a way to turn off my audio, but or actually, is that something you can do, Adam?
I think if you just put your face closer to the microphone, it will help more than anything.
It sounds very strange on my end. I don't know how to describe it.
I don't know really. This computer is new to me.
So,
but I will say the most important thing here is clearly the card art. Procession.
Okay, now
Procession is obviously the deck that you want to run here. Procession with Apprentice into Trading Post to get the maximum aesthetic value.
Well, DG opened Trading Post nothing without getting the mode. I sort of wonder.
Well, he already knew that Mick wasn't going to have the Ambassador, but I still... Yeah, Mick is going to get Ambassador now, right? Opening trading post is not that strange against an apprentice opening. It just feels really bad against ambassador.
Okay, that's understandable. I mean, you certainly don't want to fall behind in deck size. But even then, I mean, I think you still pick up a moat, right?
Nick is getting really bad draws here.
Well, that's Shantytown for you. I
yeah,
mean,
but it's also, his apprentice missing a state for the second time now?
well, it doesn't necessarily miss right now.
No, that's true.
Unless you feel like apprenticing the Shantytown.
No, you don't.
Okay, so it looks like DG has 2 ambassadors now, and Mick has 1. And then Mick got a Shantytown and DG got a Sage. That appears to be the main difference in their decks.
I don't know actually where Nick is going to go from here.
Yeah, there's a lot of options. I mean, you kind of want another Shantytown. Maybe you can justify Procession.
Torture.
Maybe another Apprentice.
The fact this was a custom kingdom is really making me wonder what exactly was the goal here.
Yeah, but it was not designed as a kingdom. It just came out.
It'll be interesting to hear Assemble Me's thoughts on this.
Yeah, I believe he can share them in the chat if he wants. I mean, the big omission here is plus buy, I think, right? You can't get more than 1 green card in a turn, which, I mean, that probably doesn't matter all that much, but...
You can get gains through Procession and Talisman, but... yeah, there's not much else going on.
It's not. It's certainly not an easy road to take if that's how you're going to gain components. Okay, so now DG gets his first Shantytown.
I'm actually a little curious what Nick here sent over.
Yeah, there's something to be said for sending a copper back. Yeah.
Sorry about that decision.
I probably would have sent the copper back, but yeah, that's me. So now Mick is tracking his deck. I think there might be an ambassador left in his draw pile, and I
yeah,
doubt.
But still play the both because both his Shantytowns are gone already.
Yes.
I get another torture actually. I think now he just needs to get the torture chain going.
Yeah, DG doesn't have any torturers, and he only has 1 Shantytown. So unless he's going to be super thin and somehow able to deal with...
Yeah, both are going to be super thin here pretty soon.
He did just pick up his first moat as well. So,
well, I think we can all agree on one thing. The interface for Moat was a lot better on Isotropic.
You could reveal it 4 times to the same attack.
I know.
Strictly better.
Sometimes I would just sit there revealing Moat over and over again. It was even better in Torturer games.
One time I had 3 moats in my hand. I revealed Moat 12 times to an attack. Oh, it was so good.
So, what's the next stage going to be here? Well, it's not time yet for the next stage, but no.
I mean, I don't think you can really go for monuments. I think if you play enough torturers on your opponent, you might reduce their deck to something that's awful. Just playing torturer and ambassador as many times as possible. I mean, Mick basically just drew his deck here. What he didn't draw was his ambassador, which is unfortunate.
It's the most important card.
You know, it's a little sad you can't play the monument here, because I feel like you'd want the points since there's no buys. Maybe you could work it out with procession somehow. But
yeah, you definitely can work it out with procession.
Yeah, it requires a little finesse, but you know, you process a monument, then you get a torture out of it, something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, something that requires a lot of finesse is something we might expect to see in our champion match for the Dominion League. So, Wandering Winder says Mick seems way up, and I'm inclined to agree. I think Mick is ahead. Oh boy.
Yeah, but not way up.
There's also Procession Sage. Yeah.
I mean, if you get Torturer played on you, do you even reveal the moat, or do you just like take the curse and ambassador it back? This is a terrible draw. What's even worse is that I think this is all of his terminal draw, so he might have trouble cycling through the rest of his 11 cards in his draw pile. And he doesn't have anything good to thin. Mick says in the Skype chat, this hand! Yeah, that's a hand.
You know, I could see there being kind of an interesting play where you process a Sage into a monument, draw the monument, and then play the monument. Perhaps processing it into something else, like an Apprentice. It wouldn't be that hard to pull off.
Why did you play Motor over Torturer there?
Yeah, that's a great question. Why did he play Mode over Torture?
Is he that scared of one curse in his deep hand?
I mean, he had his Moat and his Ambassador in that last hand. Maybe he's afraid that he's not going to be able to safely take a curse, but that still seems really strange.
Well, it's not going to be a major thing, but it does seem strange, yes. Is he afraid of drawing one more card dead? No.
I mean, if you're going to play the dead draw card, you're doing it to cycle, which means you want to cycle as much as possible, I think.
That's really good for him. I mean, he's probably going to draw into his other shantytown.
Apprentice Trash Ambassador. DG has... Oh, he had 2 ambassadors, right? So I think DG just now has 1 ambassador. So what's the play here? I think you could pretty safely discard 2 cards. Then you can Apprentice Copper, then play the Shantytown. Yeah, Assembled me saying that, you know, Procession seems pretty good here, and there's some speculation in the chat on, like, how much the 5-2 has changed the landscape of this game, which, I mean, obviously it's playing out very differently than it might otherwise. But, you know, neither one of them has gotten Procession so far. The only reason I can think of is, you know, maybe you just want more shanty towns for now to win the split.
Yeah, Procession is just risky. That's the problem with it. I mean, you can have 2 bad draws here, and then you're just flooded.
Yeah, exactly. I think even if it was a 3-4 game, it wouldn't have played out that much differently. Because you want to hit the 5s and get those 5s as soon as you can. You're not going to bother getting a Procession early.
Yeah, I mean, I think you don't want Procession right away. You want to have something to line it up with. And what are the best targets on the board? I mean, obviously Sage, you mentioned, was pretty good. But, like, what else? Maybe Torturer? Or, not Ambassador? It's tough to say. And then when piles run out, you know, different targets become better for Processions. So if Mick plans to draw his deck here, discarding 2 cards should be relatively safe. Of course, oh yeah, that is DG's only Torturer.
Yeah, but he now has Procession. Well, he's not going to take another Torturer this turn. But... I think he should get more shanty towns. They will become important soon.
And I suppose the more sages and shantytowns you have in your deck, the better procession becomes.
Yes. You also have more pile control with the procession.
Ooh, yeah.
It's of course
yeah,
it's
probably over. Oh, okay.
yeah.
He did not take over Shanty. Good.
This is not good. This is like the worst possible thing. If he wants to draw anymore, he's going to have to give DG a shantytown.
Man, you sounded like a golf commentator.
He doesn't know that, and he's going to reveal most.
But he already showed him his hand with shantytown. If DG's smart, he's not going to reveal the moat.
No, he did not reveal that. He drew 3 cards. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right, he did.
So that's a misplay by DG right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
And DG says in the chat here, you can tell that he's not concentrating. I can't even remember what I bought 2 turns ago. Yeah, procession will do that to you, I think. And Mixinock.
You don't have to remember. On GoCo, you can just read the log and find out what you bought 2 turns ago.
But look at that. The turns already takes up the whole screen.
Well, we can scroll back with he can.
Oh yeah, that's true. So I think you could gain a curse here. I mean, there's a reasonable chance you're going to draw a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what's actually what's gonna happen with these curses, because was it mixed to the goal?
Thinking, it's hard. DG only has the 1 torturer? He just got a second?
Yeah. I think he just buys stage now.
For 8, he gets another torturer.
Okay.
Where are they economically? I haven't been paying attention. Who has that gold? Oh, Mick does.
Yeah,
okay.
Mick is now reaching 9. That's probably why he got the gold, but I don't think it's time to go there yet.
Yeah, sorry about that. I can't count. It's part of why I'm not that good at Dominion.
Counting is hard.
No, counting is not the problem. I mean, a lot of people consider counting really important.
So it looks like now Mick has $7 in his deck total. If I've counted his last turn correctly, I think
it's going up and down every turn. I mean.
Yeah. But how do you increase that? I mean, you can increase it by processioning into Monument and then drawing it, but on this turn, I mean, I guess he is limited by that. I wonder if he's planning on getting a platinum or maybe some more gold.
I mean, as long as no one is apprenticing those curses, then one of them is going to end up with all 10.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the fact that curses are being trashed will eventually mean, I mean, maybe
but they're not being trashed.
Yeah, it's different if they end up in the trash rather than if they end up back in the supply, because moat, can still be very important throughout the game if that's the case. I think there are 2 in the trash, is that right? Maybe there's 3. Mick has -2 points. Well, we should be able to see pretty shortly if he draws his deck this turn. I think you just play Torturer here. Yeah, so there's 1 in Mick's deck. Yeah, so the rest of them must be in the trash. Well, we don't have. We don't.
Just buy a new one. I think I can turn the coppers again.
So you're very much prioritizing staying thin and just playing lots of tortures. There are 3 curses in the trash.
He doesn't want to buy something that's more expensive than 3 anyway, so.
So your plan, I mean, if it was you, your plan does not involve at all getting enough money to buy a colony, or is that just so far in the future that you don't care?
Yeah, that's way too far in the future.
And so now your priority is just give him all the purples, play all the torturers, play all the ambassadors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he picks up the last shanty town. He should be drawing the living crap out of his deck at this point.
So GG had a pretty bad hand there.
Procession Apprentice trash 2 curses. Oh, that does not feel good.
No.
That was his only apprentice, I believe. So
Yeah.
he just has the one ambassador for pseudo trashing.
Nick can just keep gaining these curses.
He can, although I think he's pretty safe discarding
Nick
apprentice and curse.
Nick did not rebuy ambassador, did he? No, so he has to procession the moat now if he wants to ambassador again.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, gaining curses is, and that's really odd though because, I mean maybe the shantytown, the last shantytown was more important than the ambassador at that point, but I still feel like playing ambassador is very important.
Ambassador is going to be huge to have in the end game tricks where you just all of a sudden send 2 or 4 torturers to your opponent and say, hey, the game is over. I don't like Nick not rebuying ambassador at all there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he could have gotten away with just not processioning his ambassador that turn, so that he didn't have to rebuy it if he felt Shantytown was important, or do you still think, procession ambassador, rebuy ambassador is best?
I think returning 4 cards is really good. But
the chat seems to agree with you. Having no ambassador in your deck is...
Ambassadoring the Torturer seems really good for a surprise ending here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is down in points, and piles, I mean, with ambassador in the game could be pretty dangerous.
Not yet.
DG could procession a monument, unless it's in the trash. Never mind.
No, you're on the right track thinking, though. I think something like that would be pretty good. Of course, that assumes Mick can't pick up a colony or something.
Well, I mean, he's got $3 in his deck.
A second procession. He does not agree.
He may be able to gain it this turn.
Yeah, but that's not the same.
True. Oh, he has $5 in his deck. Potentially 7 if he processions the monument.
Nick also should get a second procession, by the way. Maybe even halfway this turn. But I don't know. I mean, first just go Shantytown Torture and see what you draw.
It's pretty funny now actually watching the chat during the game and seeing how everyone's watching a completely different part than what I'm watching. So I have no idea what they're commenting on.
You have the sneak preview, yeah?
Yeah.
So I don't believe I've seen Mick draw off of a single shantytown this whole game.
I don't like his getting rid of the torture there just yet.
He apprenticed a torturer. Well, he saw the curses were out, which, could change.
Oh, he finally got rid of that moat.
He got rid of the moat, got an ambassador. Now he doesn't have a moat, but I mean, moat.
Well, you don't need it anymore so much. You'd rather have the sage or
now you really should buy a
something.
second procession.
I mean, I think ambassador's more important for him, but having the moat around could still potentially be nice. I mean, you can still block ambassador attacks. Well, Mick doesn't. It's not important for Mick.
I think 2 processions here gives so much file control.
Yeah, I agree. Alan says the reason he hasn't drawn off of his shantytowns is that's because his whole deck is actions. I mean,
I would get a procession here on 5.
Yeah,
Looking at it.
Nick seems to agree as well.
procession is good. I think that's a good call.
Congratulations, Assemble Me. You got them to do what you wanted.
What are you processing? Asked Wandering Winder, and I think the answer is Ambassador, sending over 2 torturers, and your other procession, gaining another torturer, and then... Or at least, I'm not saying that you always do that, but at least you're trying to do that.
That's true, and maybe Mick is thinking right now about, can DG end the game on a win with piles if I don't like take more of a lead by buying a duchy. I think is just gonna lose no matter what.
No, I don't think he will end it. I mean, he will get the lead for free because Mick has to gain the curse, but how is he gonna get 4 torturers away?
There's some funny torture interactions going on here. He takes the curse in hand, so he can just return it to him this turn.
But yeah, it's also dangerous. Yeah, you're going down a point and emptying a pile.
Yeah, but you cannot discard your complete hands now.
Yeah, that's the alternative. Right.
Yeah.
Well, Assemble Me, they didn't move into procession earlier because not everyone is as crazy as you, apparently.
It can go so wrong if you go for procession too early.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so many terminals to go, or non-terminals to go around. Only so much room you have to.
You know what's a fun card to procession? Hot air balloon. You get 2 of those up in the air, everything goes nuts.
I thought hot air balloon wasn't an action.
Which card are we talking about?
Hot air balloon.
Which one's hot air balloon?
I thought hot air balloon was the one you didn't like. Bacon cheeseburger is an action.
Oh, I was just trolling you guys. Hot air balloon isn't anything.
Oh, I thought you were using it as code to talk about like that one card that you hate. Well, you don't hate it. You just think it's anyway.
I have to reevaluate the whole set now. There's ratings coming up.
Oh yeah, we got to get our spreadsheets going. Got to be the first people on the block to know all the cool combos.
So while we're waiting on Mick here, Adam, how about local sports team, huh?
I'm a Purdue alumnus, and the great thing about rooting for Purdue football is that your expectations are so low that you can never be disappointed.
Sorry to interrupt you guys with this important thing, but did he take stage over Ambassador?
Yeah, and he didn't really score that many points this turn.
No. But I don't think Mick is gonna end it, right? You can procession the shanty now, play monument, Ambassador, and shanty.
If Mick plays, well, I guess he can't play that now. His turn is dead. But
no, it's not dead.
Shantytown, I don't see how he can draw more cards.
Huh?
I don't
you
think.
Can procession the Shantytown for 4 actions and then play.
Oh,
okay. Yeah,
okay.
Totally.
Yeah, I was thinking though, if he plays procession, monument, and then maybe something else, he can gain 2 tortures off that, score 2 points, and then maybe use Ambassador to empty the pile enough. If he
I love it. He got another procession. He's gone full procession now.
Is he going to process another Shantytown? That's such a risky player. Is he going to procession nothing?
I'm waiting for him to do a Marin engine with the processions.
That's
monument
hard version.
No.
Yeah, I think he has to get monument here. He has to score points and,
Yeah.
and get some money. Is that the
He
last
can
curse in
draw-
the trash?
No, one is in GG deck now because he shifted over.
Okay, so I didn't see how many there were in the trash. Was it 8 or 9?
Ooh, he can get a platinum here.
You can get a platinum or a province. Well, province doesn't seem
I don't
necessary.
know if you want the platinum, but you could get it.
I mean, it gives him enough economy to buy a colony theoretically, but now
Yeah,
he's got a big lead and is threatening piles next turn.
He might be assuming Torture could run out, but I don't know how DG would score and do that at the same time.
Yeah, DG's got to score a lot of points, and I don't think he can.
That's not the point, actually. I think Nick just wants to pile out himself next turn.
Yeah, at this point, it looks like he's very close to forcing that. Does he have any 4 cost left in his deck, other than
Yes, I see.
Yeah.
2 processions?
I think he even has 3, right? I mean, he already had 2 at the start of that turn.
Right, but I think he processed both of his monuments. I think 2 processions are the only 4 cost left in his deck. Ooh, and DG can colony.
Yeah, colony is not necessarily enough.
Because with only
he
two
can just
only 2 processions and no other 4 costs, it's going to be difficult. Well, especially now he has to take a lead as well.
Doesn't he have at least 1 monument? You know, potentially he could win on
No, I don't
chips.
think he has a monument.
All 10 curses are in the trash. I don't remember if his other monument is still in his deck or if it's in the trash.
You know, sometimes it
Well,
feels like I'm
he
saying
can't put it in
something
there. He played one
and then
last
Wandering
turn.
Winter comments on it. But he's in the past, so that's not possible. Unless he's from the future.
Well, he is. Oh, he has 3 processions.
Yeah,
Okay.
all right.
Life is much easier for him. Procession, Shantytown, Torturer. I think that's good, right? He has an ambassador left.
Yeah, no, he's got the 3 processions and torture now.
Can't he run out Torture here and
How does he take a
Yeah.
lead if he doesn't have a monument? Does he have a
and also
monument?
buy a duchy or something?
And he has a monument.
Oh, if
just
he
needs
has-
one monument.
Yeah, if he has a monument, it's GG. Well, he can get a monument by processioning Shantytown. Yeah, this is over. Mick can force a win here, I think.
I think so too. I'm actually convinced of it.
Yeah, that's really
He's gonna invest in 1 torture and gain 2 to 3 from the procession.
Yeah, there's a monument.
really exciting finish here.
Yeah, we're good to go.
Yeah, he's still the ambassador's last card is bad, but he can just apprentice Shanty.
Yeah, I thought Mick would be in trouble since DG managed to get a colony that last turn, but still, his deck is, with all these processions in it, he can just do basically whatever he wants.
Yeah, Mick is rushing toward the end zone. The bases are loaded, and 9 pins are down.
That's so many pins. So I think he
just shouldn't play the torture now.
can get a monument now. Is that last card in his deck an ambassador?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, in that case, I think he wants.
Yeah, he easily
Monument.
has this.
Because he doesn't necessarily want to play the torture. He could apprentice gold or something to draw, but he. Oh, he has a torture from the. Of course.
Yeah, you can apprentice Torture here. Not apprentice, ambassador. Wait, he still has ambassador. Doesn't matter. It's over.
Yeah, this is over. He can just buy green and. Yep.
Mick, I'm disappointed. You could have won in a much more ridiculous fashion.
Well, there it is. That's one game from Mick Seanock.